We continue our survey of the Old Testament. Tonight, we come to Genesis chapter 12 for the subject of our lesson. In this series of lessons surveying the Old Testament, first lesson was simply a survey of some of the different ideas people have about the Bible account of creation. The second lesson focused on Genesis chapters 3 through 11, and at that time I suggested that the theme of the Bible is the redemption of man from sin. The real focus of the whole of the Bible is how man who has sinned and separated himself from God by virtue of his sin can somehow find forgiveness of his sin and be reconciled and brought back into fellowship with God. And we noted that in Genesis chapters 3 through 11, the material leading up to what we're going to look at tonight, Genesis chapter 12, in those chapters, the real emphasis is on what sin has done to man. What sin has done to mankind as a whole, what sin does to each one of us individually. And I gave you last Sunday night a list of several things that sin does. Sin separates man from God, separates man from his fellow man. The wages of sin is death, things like that. And throughout all of that, I suggest that really a sort of a key word, especially in Genesis chapter 3, a key word is that man put it this way. In Genesis chapter 3, we really have the beginning of sin, and that's the problem that all the rest of the Bible is designed to deal with. And if there's any key word in chapter 3 and the following chapters, it is the word curse. God says to Adam, cursed is the ground because of you. And so we see in those chapters the curse of sin. All of the destructive force of sin on this earth. And we made the point last week that when you get to the end of Genesis chapter 11, it's really kind of depressing. And I think that's intended to be so. It has shown us the consequence of sin, even shown us an occasion where God gave the whole of humanity a fresh start. In the flood, all of humanity was destroyed, save for Noah and his family. The earth was, as it were, wiped clean. And he gets a fresh new start. As a matter of fact, when Noah and his family got off the ark, God said to them exactly what he had said to Adam and Eve at the very beginning. Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. Emphasizing it's a fresh new start. But what happens? Even after that fresh new start, man falls right back into sin. And as soon as the world is repopulated, they are in the process of building the city and the Tower of Babel. So what dominates those chapters that we looked at last week is the curse of sin, the burden of sin, the consequences of sin upon mankind. And it becomes apparent at the end of Genesis chapters 3 through 11 that man's not going to save himself. If man is going to be delivered from sin, if he's ever going to be restored to fellowship with God, if he's ever going to overcome, find life to replace the death that has come because of sin, God is going to have to provide the solution. And that's what begins in Genesis chapter 12, our subject for tonight.